Miss Simpson, isn't it?
Yes, Blair Simpson. Apparently, your housekeeper doesn't know whether you're in or out, Mr. Carpenter.
Well, Miss Simpson, as you can see, I am most definitely in, and I would be delighted to touch on any subject not covered by Mrs. Lucas. However, I would say at the outset that Eric definitely belongs here.
Really? Well, there's still one thing that needs clearing up. The custody of your grandson could depend upon it.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes?
Oh, good. Then I do have the right office. Your secretary wasn't at her desk.
Well, she should be. Well, who are you?
Someone you're going to be seeing a lot of soon, so you better get used to me.
Used to you? Are you one of the interns?
Hardly. Even if I were, I wouldn't want to work at this hospital, where a doctor like Ben Martin can just walk in off the street and play butcher in your operating room.
No, what is this?
I told you. A taste of what's coming. I'm an attorney, Mr. Lewis, for one of your patients here, Nancy Lawson.
Oh, Nancy.
That's right, Mr. Lewis. Your hospital is about to be sued. Well, let's make it formal. My name is Dan Myers. Happens all the time.
You're not amusing, Mr. Myers.
No, neither is my client when she tries to speak. She's wondering where her voice went.
She's had a tracheotomy. It'll be some time before her voice returns to normal.
She's waited too long already, Mr. Lewis. She's waited long enough to know that Ben Martin did a real hatchet job on her.
Oh, you look here.
How can he even call himself a surgeon?
He's done excellent work in this hospital.
Oh, sure he has, when he had two good hands. But now one of his hands is dead weight.
Dr. Martin saved Miss Lawson's life.
He's no hero, Mr. Lewis.
I'm not trying to make him out to be. I'm just saying he's a doctor who acted to the best of his knowledge in an emergency.
That's an interesting phrase, to the best of his knowledge. His best was radical.
I think you'd better leave.
Mr. Lewis, Ben Martin used the hull of a pen instead of a standard tube for that tracheotomy.
Well, as I understand it, he had no other choice.
I suppose you feel the same way about his choice for an assistant at the scene of the accident, an inexperienced volunteer from his free clinic.
This hospital has no responsibility for anything Dr. Martin does outside of it.
I couldn't have put it better myself. It seems a good doctor's pretty consistent. He took matters into his own hands at the scene of the accident and then did the same thing when he arrived here. Isn't it true that there was a doctor on duty in the emergency room who could have attended to Ms. Lawson?
Mr. Myers, I don't know where you're getting your information.
From a source that will hold up in a court of law, Mr.
I
Lewis.
suggest that you check it out again, because you don't have the whole story.
Are you trying to tell me that Ben Martin had permission to operate in this hospital?
I'm only saying that it's customary for a doctor who starts an operation to finish it.
Oh, he finished it all right. He also finished off any chance for my client to lead a normal, healthy life.
Mr. Myers, I want you to leave my office. And if you have any further questions, I suggest that you contact the hospital attorney.
That's exactly what I intend to do, Mr. Lewis.
Want to let me in on it?
What?
The person you keep trying to call, another one of your mysterious leads?
No, just my mysterious wife. I'm trying to figure out why she isn't home.
Maybe it's because she's out.
Thanks, Stacy. That's really good. I never would have thought of that.
Anytime.
Anytime. Speaking of mysterious, you tell me something, little lady. Now, what's caused you to turn around to being yourself again?
I've always been me.
Oh, and very profound, too. McGovern put you back over in the obituaries again or something?
There are other inspirations for deep thinking, Gene.
For you?
Yes.
Well, I'd bet another scoop. Or, even better, you're turning the pages of your storybook again? You want to introduce me to a new royalty or something?
How about a reintroduction?
A reintroduction? Oh, Stacy, please don't tell me Gil Prescott.
Now, don't start that again.
I can't help it. Haven't you been burned by the fire once? This so-called boyfriend of yours is marrying your sister.
He's not sure he really will.
Well, I mean, he and Amber came as a pair to your mother's wedding, don't forget.
That doesn't prove anything. Gene, he told me himself. He doesn't really care about Amber.
Listen, Stacy, you
I
have to...
know what you're thinking. That I'm a fool to believe him.
Stacy, I have nothing personal against Gil Prescott. But this line that you keep hearing about, I don't care, that's probably engraved on his tongue by now.
Nothing personal, huh?
No.
You never really believed he changed, did you?
Well, I admit that you brought a side out of him that was genuine, but listen, the only time I ever saw that was when he was with you.
Well, maybe that's reason enough that he should be with me.
Or reason enough that he shouldn't. Listen, I'll keep my personal opinions to myself before you tell me off.
Gee, thanks. Still no answer.
No. Carla, where are you?
You've been away on business, Mr. Carpenter?
Indeed, I have.
I've already explained that to her, Mr. Carpenter.
Well, I think I'd like to explain myself. I certainly wouldn't want Miss Simpson to leave here confused about anything.
Well, right now I am. Just what kind of business could be so urgent that you would have to miss the hearing? After all, you did file suit for it.
Do you think that I should tell her everything, Mrs. Lucas?
Well, surely not everything, sir.
Well, I don't see why not. I think Miss Simpson would want to know why certain stocks and bonds are so important.
I most certainly would.
Because they're Eric's. They're a gift from me.
Oh, I see.
Not quite. I wanted to handle this transaction personally.
And why is that?
Because I want the best for my grandson, and I'm not willing to pass that responsibility on to my broker.
But couldn't you have done this at some other time?
Miss Simpson, you obviously don't know much about the market.
Not as much as I know about how a child should be raised. In a home where he comes before business.
Oh, perhaps you would like your cup of tea now, Miss Simpson.
No, thank you. I think I've been here long enough already.
Oh, but you haven't seen Eric's room. This is where he spends most of his time, and I think you might see why.
Yes, there's everything here that any boy would love to have.
Certainly appears so.
Certainly by comparison of what he has over at the Redlands. I assume that you've been in that part of town.
Yes, that was my first stop.
Ha, there you have it.
Have what?
I'm surprised that you weren't mugged knocking at the door.
Yes, I have a great fear for Eric living over there.
Well, he was safe and sound when I talked to him.
But for how long?
Well, I think I have everything I need.
I've answered all your questions?
Oh, yes. You've said more than enough, Mr. Carpenter, believe me. I'll see myself out.
Yeah, but now, wait a minute. Are you going to schedule a second interview?
Well, I don't know at this point, but if I do, you'll know in plenty of time.
Fine. And please know that the door is always open for you.
Thank you. Good day, Mr. Carpenter, Mrs. Lucas.
Goodbye.
You should have stayed in bed.
I had to do something. She was asking too many questions.
I'll get your medication.
Yes, and don't waste any time.
Dr. Martin,
Hi, Marie.
what are you doing here?
Well, I'm here to see Nancy Lawson.
You're not allowed in there.
Yes, but I'm a visiting relative, and it is visiting hours.
Going someplace you're not supposed to, Dr. Martin?
I think you know where I'm heading.
Better than you do. Right straight into a courtroom. I've just had a long visit with Nancy Lawson's attorney.
And who's that?
His name is Dan Myers.
Myers, yes. I'm familiar with the name.
Well, you'll be a lot more familiar with him by the time he gets through with us.
Is Nancy going to sue?
Huh, what do you think? I've been talking to the hospital's attorneys.
Well, I've talked to a lawyer as well.
Well, good. I'm delighted that you're finally beginning to take this matter seriously.
Yes, I am. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Ben, I must ask you to leave.
I just want to talk to her, Lester.
Haven't you done enough to her
Yes,
already?
I've done enough. I've saved her life.
But the consequences...
Listen, we're going to be on the same side if this thing goes to court.
If it goes to court, when is more like it?
All right, then why don't we set aside our differences?
But it's because of you that this hospital is involved in the litigation.
I stand by what I did.
Yes, and you're forcing the hospital to stand by it, too. Now, Ben, I do not have any time to discuss this thing. I must ask you to leave, or I'll have no choice but to have you removed. I'm quite serious about this, Ben. If you're not out of here in 5 minutes, I will alert security. You heard what I said. He is not to see Miss Lawson.
Yes, sir. Dr. Martin, wait!
Shall I call Dr. Johnson?
Don't you dare.
He gave specific instructions that you should stay in bed.
Well, what he doesn't know won't hurt him.
But it could hurt you. I could have handled Miss Simpson.
No. She's my responsibility.
No, she's mine. It's my responsibility to see that Eric has a good home. Your home, sir.
Well, do you think I was convincing?
Well, I'm not sure. It's hard to say. Miss Simpson seems to be a very intelligent woman, but she didn't detect anything about your health.
Well, but that was the whole point, wasn't it?
Yes. If only Eric could have been here. Then she could have seen just how happy he is just to be around you.
Yes, you may have a point there. In fact, I think we were at a distinct disadvantage. She's already seen Eric with Miriam. Now what she needs to see is him with us.
Yes, with us, sir.
Yes, and I think I will so inform Judge Sawyer.
Would you like me to take care of it?
No. I think I'll do it. Have more impact.
Yes, of course, sir.
And it'll also prove without any doubt at all that I think constantly about the boy, which I do.
If I doubted for 1 minute that you didn't care, I would not stay in your employ.
You really feel that strongly?
Oh, as if he was my own flesh and blood.
You are one of a kind, Mrs. Lucas.
Oh, thank you, sir. That's about the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
And I can promise you a very generous bonus after we've won Eric back.
A bonus?
Yes, indeed. It's rightfully yours. Now, you'll just help me into my room there. I think I've done enough for today.
Yes, just
Thank
lean
you.
on me.
Yes.
Are you all right, sir?
Oh, certainly. I just need some rest, that's all.
All right.
As into a twilight of obscurity, unrecognized by the crowd. Such is Lyndon Palmer, at one
Hello,
time
Nancy.
one of the most sought-after musical directors in Hollywood.
Listen, I'd like to talk with you. Can you turn that thing off?
A dime a dozen.
Thank you. It's much better. Can you talk at all?
A little.
I really don't have a whole lot to say. Except there's one thing I don't understand, and I think you know what it is. The malpractice suit. Why, Nancy?
It can't be helped.
It can't be helped. What I did kept you alive.
Maybe you shouldn't have done it.
Shouldn't have what? Cared about you?
Well, I'm nothing special to you.
Yes, you are. You are special, but you're trying very hard not to be special for anyone. Nancy, I just want to know why. I just want to know why. It's like you're punishing me for allowing you to breathe again.
Well, maybe you should have just left me there lying on the road. I didn't ask for your help.
Oh, yes, you did. When you called the clinic from the Castaway Bar, you didn't say, "Ben, let me die." You cried out for help.
I don't remember.
Do you remember saying you felt alone? Like you didn't have a friend in the world?
Well, that's nothing new.
But having a second chance is something new. Nancy, don't start over by behaving like you used to.
Well, I'm the same person, aren't I?
But you have a choice not to be. Why? Because you want someone else to hurt as much as you hurt?
Just get
Hey, wait, do you think you're the only person in the world who's ever suffered, who's ever felt pain?
What are you talking about? Listen to me. Look at my voice. You did this to me.
No, I did not do it to you. It was an accident, and you did it yourself. You did it. What I did was try and save your life, and then your voice. Now, don't you understand that? Now, Nancy, just listen to me. Listen to me. Believe it or not, there are people who care about you, who deeply care about you. Lori and Terry and me, even Peter. Please let us love you.
I don't like to do this, Dr. Martin, but you have to leave.
Peacefully, I hope.
Mom, hold on. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the house now and check and find out what's going on, all right? Yeah, I'll give you a call. Okay, see you later. Hey, Stacy, would you please do me a favor and take any messages that I might get?
Sure, you're going home. I overheard.
Yeah, Carla may have left a message for me there at the house, so.
I hope so. It'll keep you from climbing the walls.
Yeah, for sure.
Whoa, what? Hey,
Hey, buddy.
just a man I want to see.
Well, listen, I have to make that another day because I got to split. See ya.
Hey, how about that? Come in to thank the guy, he leaves, wants to do it another day.
Life of a reporter, always on the run.
Yeah. So why aren't you on the run?
I ran this morning. Now comes the fun part, writing up the copy.
Oh, boy. Well, maybe that's what I should do. Write him a note, huh? Could I? Write Gene a note?
Sure. Be my guest.
Thanks. So, you see, he helped get Vicky that job, he vouched for her.
So you've told me. Over and over and over, Peter.
Hey, don't let me get in your way, all right?
Of course not.
I tell you what, she really enjoys working for your new stepfather, Mr. Carruthers.
Don't refer to Lee Carruthers that way.
I'm sorry. I mean, I just want to say that she likes her job. Anything beats the prison gates,
Guess it is a decent break for her.
Yep.
You really care about Vicky, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Peter, do you think that love can overcome anything?
Well, yeah, just about anything. What do you mean?
Nothing.
You referring to Gil?
Maybe.
Stacey, I thought you and he were, I thought it was through.
You did.
I heard,
You
but it was-
heard that Amber and Gil were back together. Well, maybe so, and maybe not. I think Gil's gonna come back to me. Now, I don't mean to be rude, Peter, but I have copy that Mr. McGovern needs. Now.
Look, there's no need for these strong-arm tactics. I'm ready to leave.
Thank you, Dr. Martin. Well, looks like we won't be needing you anyway.
Whatever you say.
Oh, not again. Lester, before you say anything, I was just simply
They've been bothering you, my dear.
He just wanted to talk.
Well, now, you don't have to put up with him.
I really can't believe this.
We're taking every precaution to see that you are not disturbed, especially by Dr. Martin.
Lester, you're being ridiculous.
I'm only seeing that you conduct yourself properly.
You still want me to stick around, Mr. Lewis?
Look, I said I'm getting ready to leave, all right?
Not without some help, it seems. My dear, you have my assurances this will not happen again. Guard.
All right, Dr. Martin. Let's go.
Get your hands off me.
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just taking some mental notes. Getting an education on just how professional you people really are.
I think we'd all better leave. Ben?
Nancy, we have got them right where we want them, at each other's throats. Pardon the expression. So how are the vocal cords today?
About the same.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, you need to sound bad, Nancy.
But suppose I never get any better.
Oh, you won't mind at all. You'll be a whole lot richer.
But I want my voice back. I want to sound like I did before.
No, save the pleading for court, Nancy. You know, a little dramatics there won't hurt us.
But I'm not performing.
I know. Look, try not to think about it now. You only get depressed.
It's too late for that anyway.
Nancy, listen to me. We have got a winner here.
What's gonna happen?
Nothing that I won't be prepared for. Trust me. Just trust me. Now, what we need to do now is bring in a specialist. We want your condition documented and verified by the best. Is a TV all right? I mean, is the screen big enough for you and everything?
Yeah, it's okay.
That's good, good. Now, today, I'll send over radio, too, something else to keep you company. And listen, Nancy, if Ben Martin ever shows up here again, I want to know about it. Huh? I mean, everything that guy does concerns us.
But he just wanted to see how I was.
No. He can get that kind of information over the telephone. Look, Nancy, you're not feeling sorry for this guy, are you?
Well, we're suing him for a lot of money, and he doesn't have that.
He has malpractice insurance. Look, the money that we get will come from the insurance company, not from Ben Martin.
Yeah, but suppose
Now,
he doesn't
Nancy,
have that.
look at it this way. You're doing him a favor. Huh? I mean, next time, maybe he'll think twice before he rushes into an operation.